Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a very interesting show set up for you. All right, SEC Power Rankings after Week 4. We're going to find out who went up the rankings and who dropped like a stone. Let's get right on into this one. All right, we're going to take a look at SI with James Parks, what they think about the rankings, and I'm going to give you my opinion on all of it. All right, they got number 16, Mississippi State. Look, they just lost the Losers Bowl. That was Mississippi State versus Florida. And Florida's quarterbacks played well. Graham Mertz had a real nice game coming back from the concussion and seemed to be playing at a high level. Of course, he played the week before as well, but he's been sort of splitting time with DJ Lagway. But he had a real nice game. DJ did too. But anyway, Mississippi State, look, it's first year, Jeff Levy. It just is what it is. So they lost the Losers Bowl, therefore they're number 16. Sorry, Mississippi State. Number 15. This is absurd. There is no way this team should allow themselves to be at number 15. This is what happens when you don't go into the portal and you don't get a quarterback because you don't want to
pay the money.
Well, now you're paying the price, dummy.
You big dummy.
So anyway, Hugh Freeze stuck with Peyton Thorne, and now he went to his backup quarterbacks, Hank, whatever his name is, and it's just not working. You don't have a quarterback, so you're turning the ball over like crazy. You still got a ton of talent. You're still a very good team, but because you're turning the ball over like maniacs, you can't win a ball game. And Arkansas whooped you. So there's that. All right, the winner of the Losers Bowl is Florida, Flo Rida. And again, both their quarterbacks look pretty good. Mississippi State tried to make a game out of it, but Florida held on and beat them. So pretty much everything's fine there at Florida from now on.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
Yeah, totally redeemed yourself, Billy. It's all good till you lose the next game. So anyway, at least you're idle. So you don't have to worry about losing next week. All right, number 13, Kentucky. I really thought they would be about middle of the pack this time of year, but they've been struggling. They're 2-2. The worst loss was, of course, to South Carolina. That was just atrocious. And then they almost beat Georgia, but they just couldn't pull it off. Georgia likes to play with their food, I guess. Anyway, it is what it is. You're sitting at number 13. Still a good team. You can still pull this out and, win 7 or 8 games. But, at least you showed up against Georgia. I'll give you that. You didn't quit. Unfortunately, you got to play Ole Miss next, and that's going to be tough. And it's at Ole Miss. Ugh. All right, number 12, Vanderbilt. God, this poor team, man, they could be 4-0 right now. Got beat barely by Missouri. And I'm going to tell you right now, this Diego Pavia, he is about my favorite player out there other than Nico. What a great quarterback he is. That guy is taking Vanderbilt, putting him on his shoulders and trying to carry him into the end zone. He just can't do it by himself. They're 2-2 and could be 4-0. And they gave Missouri all they wanted and more. So, good for Vandy. All right, let's take a look at number 11, Arkansas. 3-1, good for Arkansas. They beat Auburn, the turnover machine Auburn. And they're a decent team this year. They're playing okay. We'll see how they handle the VOLS in 2 weeks. They're playing Texas A&M next week. That'll be a pretty interesting ball game. I kind of see that game being tight. So anyway, Arkansas, number 11. All right, South Carolina Gamecocks, number 10. They've been looking pretty good. They looked terrible in that first game against the trucking company, Old Dominion, but their defense saved their butt, causing Old Dominion to turn the ball over 4 separate times. And then they whooped up on Kentucky. Nobody saw that coming at Kentucky. So their defense is for real. Then they gave LSU a fit. Should have won the ball game. Refs played a role in that. But their offense is just not good enough. They've got the freshman in there, Lenora Sellers, who I really like. A very talented guy. He's not ready for prime time, and he's going to struggle most of the year because he doesn't have any experience. And he was a 3-star, but he's a guy that one day could be really good. Anyway, number 10, South Carolina. That's good for you. It is. Number 9, Texas A&M Aggies. Very talented team. Playing Arkansas. This would be a good win for y'all. You win this one, people start taking notice. Like I said, Texas A&M is a tricky team to sort of gauge. Tons of talent, Brand new coach with Mike Elko. It's just hard to really tell. I don't expect them to overachieve this year. Probably win 7 or 8 ball games, something like that. But Elko's going to get you on the right path. So, and you got all that oil money. You're going to be fine.
Haven't you noticed? You got to be a man to play in my league.
Nope. All right, number 8, Oklahoma Sooners. All right, we played them a couple days ago at Oklahoma. That was a heck of a ball game. They've got a very good defense. Their offense, they had to get rid of their quarterback and bring in a new guy. Yeah, Jackson Arnold just didn't play well. So we'll see how this new quarterback handles this coming week. I'm sure he'll be starting. He's a dual threat guy, and he looked pretty good. It's just hard to, God, I hope he can stay healthy. I mean, the guy landed on his head at one point against Tennessee when he did a somersault trying to get in the end zone. That's no way to live in the SEC. So hopefully he can stay injury-free, but he looks like he could play, and he will help them with their offensive line because it's pretty porous. Now, one thing that I did find out about Oklahoma, they did actually mow their grass finally. You know, I don't know if y'all noticed their field, but it was about 4 inches deep. They must have watered the crap out of it because they were trying to slow down the Vols, I guess, by having a field out there instead of grass. But they did finally mow Monday, so that's good news. And they went ahead and baled that hay. They should be able to get some pretty good money out of that because I'm sure it yielded really well. But anyway, Oklahoma's pretty darn good. They got a great defense, so I expect them to be in every ball game that they play just about. Number 7, LSU. And LSU lost their best player, Harold Perkins. That's really a shame. Great linebacker, 5-star guy, was a baller. So that's a big hit for LSU. And they've been sort of hanging on, not playing great, not playing bad. You know, they lost that tough one to USC out west, and then they beat South Carolina, the other USC. Don't call them USC Junior. They get angry. They're going up next against South Alabama. That should be no problem. That'll take them to 4-1. So, you know, they're doing okay. All right, next up, number 6 is Missouri. Yeah, Missouri had a bit of a struggle against Vandy. Had they lost that ball game, they would have dropped a ton, probably be 9th or 10th. But they did manage to win. I'm not real sure that old Eli Drinkowitz is taking care of business or standing on business or whatever the crap it is he does.
Yep. We stand on business, Josh.
Yeah. Anyway, I think this team might be a bit of a paper tiger because they've struggled now 2 weeks in a row. I mean, dadgum Boston College almost beat them. So, I don't know. I don't think Missouri's what they're all cracked up to be. Last year might have been I don't want to call it a fluke, but I don't think they're that good. You don't barely scrape by against 2 middle-of-the-road teams like that. They should have rebounded significantly on this last one. So anyway, they're still sitting there at 6 barely. I don't know if they'll last there long term. They're off this week, though. All right, number 5, Ole Miss, who has played absolutely nobody. They're 4-0. Look, their starting 4 games are a joke. I mean, it's just been a cakewalk. The entire time they're just eating cupcakes. But they've got to play Kentucky next. I think they'll handle them pretty easily. It's at Ole Miss, so they should continue to stay in the top part of the SEC. We'll find out more about them when they start playing some of the tougher teams. They do have a few tough games in this schedule, but it's easy the whole way through, them in Missouri. All right, we got Alabama sitting at number 4. It's hard to say with these last 4 teams. They're all really, really close. We won't know for a while. Now, Alabama's playing Georgia Saturday, so that's going to tell us a lot. We're going to find out what Kalen DeBoer's team's really made of. We're going to find out if that Kentucky game with Georgia was a fluke or if there are some problems with their offense. They're bad to do that, though. Again, like I said, sometimes they play with their food. They'll show up against Alabama. You can count on it. They probably were looking ahead. Anyway, look for that game to be outstanding.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide, baby.
Don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. Go get them, Tide. Go take them down.
All right, number 3, they got the Georgia Bulldogs. They're being punished for the Kentucky game. Like I said, if they beat Alabama, they'll probably bolt right back up to number 1. I kind of expect Georgia to win this game, but Alabama could absolutely beat them. That's going to be the game of the week. Number 2, Tennessee. We've moved up. Obviously, beating Oklahoma at Oklahoma was really big. Tennessee lost both their tackles, so they had to go conservative, protect Nico. And we ran the ball okay, not great, 150 yards rushing. We ran the ball a lot, though. So the average wasn't that good. Nico threw for 200 yards and touchdown. Made some incredible throws because he always does. But I got to give Sooners credit. They caused him to fumble the ball twice because they came in from his blind side once and one time from the other side because our tackles couldn't handle their ends. Both Lance Hurd and John Campbell were out at one point. You know, Lance didn't even travel. So I don't know what's going on with his ankle. But anyway, Tennessee at number 2. And Texas remains at number 1. Arch Manning played for Quinn Ewers, who's got some sort of an abdominal issue. So they're being careful with him. It's nice to have a really good backup quarterback, which they do. They played UL Monroe or whatever. So, I mean, I don't think anybody is too concerned about that. And now they're playing Mississippi State. So they've got it pretty easy. They might as well just stick with Arch Manning, bring Quinn in when he's 100%. So, anyway, those are your power rankings for the SEC from 16 down to 1. Had some movers and shakers. Had a few that fell backwards in the Losers Bowl. Anyway, just thought I'd cover that after week number 4. Week number 5 coming up. Everybody's talking about Georgia, Bama. And my Vols are off. So we'll be covering that as the week progresses, all these games coming up. If you've not subscribed, boom, 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 hit that little button right there. I'd appreciate it. Won't cost you a dime. Helps you get my videos. And right over here is the most recent video that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. And don't forget to hit that like button. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.